threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
We're here to do a podcast today, huh? It's probably important. Weird competitions, eh?
He's very weird.
Welcome.
And it's funny that we both went right back to that voice as we started.
It's a fun one.
That was a little pre-show banter we had going on.
In Russian.
Which will not make it to the actual show.
No.
Not how it goes. But
sorry.
We are very excited about today's podcast. Huh?
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird competition.
A funny, weird topic today, huh?
It is a weird topic, but there's some weird competitions, man.
There are.
Like, I felt like we picked up some of the, I don't know, funnier.
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
weird.
Yeah.
But, man, there are a ton.
There's a million of them.
Everywhere. I'm like, it's like shoelace tying competition. It's like, I
are
don't
like
even know how to pick through these.
So bored. It's like, we got to come up with a competition for this.
My grandpappy used to do this.
Yeah. It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. But
Leather stamping competition. It's like, it's all this weird. You're like, I don't know.
The Tandy Leather
You
Championship.
can't even, is it even a competition? You're like,
Yeah.
Are they just.
There's like 8 people who do it in the world.
Yeah.
Can you really call it like world championships?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but before we talk about these weird things,
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that isn't weird.
Mhm.
Self-reliant medical care is not weird. It's something you're all going to have to deal with. And so you need the book, the proper book to do it. And it's the Prepper's Medical Handbook. It's not by some dummy.
No.
It's by a doctor. His name's William W. Forgy.
Mhm.
He's got a sweet old gray white beard. I saw a picture.
Yeah, I know.
He looks legit. But he, with this book, provides the basis of prevention, identification, and long-term management of those survivable medical conditions that you are going to have to deal with yourself. No urgent care, no ER. You need to know how to do it.
Mhm.
So this book, it's structured to easily go through and read and find those things that you're most likely going to encounter with you and your group when out there in the wilderness. Okay? So go get it. You can get it from the preppersmedicalhandbook.com, or the easiest way is just go to amazon.com and get you that Prepper's Medical Handbook and survive out there. Okay?
Get it done, man.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Do it.
Well, let's just get right into these weird competitions.
Yeah, digging it.
It's like some of these are like competitions. Some of them are almost like, rituals or something.
It kind of is, yeah.
It's weird.
Yep. And I'll have to say, England, man.
They
don't have anything better to do than to make up games.
It's like
Soccer.
I know. You guys make us drink tea all the time. We're gonna do some weird stuff because of that.
They do some weird stuff.
Okay.
And I also want to say I'm going to butcher these names.
Oh, me
for
too.
These towns
Yeah.
and cities and places.
Looking
Sorry.
at this first one, I'm
Don't
like,
get
how do I
pissed.
say this?
We're going to butcher it.
The cheese rolling event at Coppers Hill in Gloucestershire, England. I probably said that wrong.
It's Gloucestershire.
It's Gloucestershire sauce, England. So anyway, the Coopers Hill cheese rolling and wake. It's a wake too. I don't get that.
That sounds right.
Is an annual held event on the spring bank holiday at Coopers Hill near Gloucester in England.
Delicious Gloucestershire sauce.
Yeah, participants race down the 200-yard long hill, chasing a wheel of double Gloucester cheese.
I've never had Gloucester cheese.
I haven't either. Never once.
They obviously just want to roll.
Never have raced one either. The event has a long tradition held by the people of the local village of Brockworth, but now people from all over the world take part. From the top of the hill, a 7 to 9 pounds round of double Gloucester cheese, I'm going to say it wrong every time, is sent rolling down the hill, which is 200 yards long. Competitors then start racing down the hill after the cheese. It makes complete sense.
Adults running downhill is a pretty funny sight.
Yeah. The first person over the finish line at the bottom of the hill wins all the cheese.
On their face in scorpion style.
That's the thing. Their feet come before their
touching
head.
the back of their head.
Yeah.
Are they trying to catch the cheese, or they just like...
So the competitors aim to catch the cheese.
Okay.
However, It has around a 1 second head start.
Oh, there's no way.
It can reach speeds up to 70 miles per hour. Again, that's some fast food.
So they're just like,
yeah. You're
their
never going to
stride
catch
becomes like
You just have to jump
30, 40 feet, and then they're on their face.
Yeah. It reached speeds up to 70 miles per hour, enough to knock over and injure a spectator. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lost these teeth from Gloucestershire cheese. Got me right in the face.
That's a good event. Good event. Let's go have some tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Sip it through my cracked tooth. Multiple races are held during the day with separate events for men and women because you can't just can't let the men go with the women.
No.
Hell
That's
no.
still okay over there.
Yeah.
They can do that.
You can
separate it out.
You can separate them. In the 2013 competition, a foam replica replaced the cheese for safety reasons.
What?
Yeah. Ain't even real cheese.
Who's going to chase after a fake piece of cheese?
Don't bounce like cheese. Don't taste like cheese. Don't roll like cheese.
I ain't going with it.
Heck no, I'm done with this event. But the winners were actually given prizes of real cheese. They didn't just win the stupid foam cheese. The first written evidence of cheese rolling is found in a message written to the Gloucester town crier. God, jeez. Jeez Louise. In 1826. Even then, it was apparent that the event was an old tradition, and it is believed to be at least 600 years old.
Jeez.
That's how old the cheese is, too. It's all moldy, aged.
Rolls and flips off that mold. When you get
It's called
it down
a mold roll.
Some Brits all that's agreed. All right.
Yeah.
I went to my Russian.
Yeah, that's fine. Two possible oranges have been proposed.
We've got something on that later.
For this ceremony. First, it may have evolved from a requirement for maintaining grazing rights on the common. So if you want to just graze, you got to raise cheese, apparently. I have no idea how that
You have to raise cheese to enjoy the events or to...
No, to graze your animals.
Oh, graze your animals.
On the
I thought
common.
graze like yourself.
No.
Common graze.
No,
got to raise your cheese.
No, this is about grazing rights. So
that's what it is.
It's like a little open range type thing. I don't know.
That's
I don't
weird.
know.
That's weird.
Yeah. Second, there may be pagan origins for the custom of rolling objects down the hill.
Man.
It is thought that bundles of burning brushwood were rolled down the hill to represent the birth of the new year after winter. I mean, what kind of pyromaniac thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's burn some stuff and roll down the grassy hill.
Welcome to summer.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. They do. They love those hills, man.
They do. They have
like
a thing.
Roll, run down them.
Anything.
Carry a barrel. I'll talk about that later.
Connected with this belief is the traditional scattering of buns, biscuits, and sweets at the top of the hill by the master of ceremonies.
Buns, biscuits, and sweets. Daddy, it's the BBB being spread.
I'm ready for my biscuits, Dad. Has the cheese been rolled yet?
Father, has the biscuits been thrown?
Don't roll me down the hill, Dad. Yeah.
Get us,
Can I have another
John,
bun,
please
please?
get us a roll of cheese.
That's
Catch that cheese.
The whole family's counting on
The
you,
children
John.
are starving.
We haven't had a real biscuit in years. This cheese for Gloucester will be a huge benefit to the whole family.
Please, good John, catch that cheese.
Oh, I've been praying to the good Lord that you would catch that round of cheese and I could have bite into it this evening with my tea.
Good day.
Good day.
Shibio. He's got to throw in all those little. That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, that's good. I like that.
That was a good one.
This one. How about you just carry your wife?
She doesn't like it when I do that.
I know my wife does. I'm too heavy. Don't know how you want to know my weight. You probably break your legs and stuff like that.
I doubt your joints can take my whole body.
Yeah, I'm like, give me a break.
Yeah. Give me a break, I'll carry you wherever I want. Get your ass home or
My
shoulder.
center of gravity's only 3 inches from the ground anyway.
I got long limbs. It's harder for me.
That's true.
Everything's
I got
long.
short. I'm made to carry.
You are. You're
I'm built to carry.
You're built to carry a
Been
wife.
carrying milk out of the cows since I was a little tyke.
Yes, sir.
I ain't chasing no cheese.
No, you
I'm
ain't.
carrying the milk out.
Mm-hmm.
So This contest originated in Finland in Sonkajärvi. I don't know. Probably nailed that pronunciation.
That was Sonkajärvi.
Yeah, we're flying over to Sonkajärvi. Going to carry our wives on over that hill.
Yes, sir.
And its history is based around the 19th century legend of Herko Rolfsva Ronkainen. Or Ronkainen the Robber.
He took our wives on his back, and now we recreate this event every year.
Done to Ronkainen the Robber. There are 3 stories on how the sport was created. First,
3 stories.
Ronkainen and his thieves were accused of stealing food and women from villages in the area he lived in, then carried these women on their backs as they ran away.
Get the biscuits and the women.
Get the cheese wheel and the women.
I'm hungry and horny. Get them.
Became a little Irish and Scottish.
I don't know.
Well, that's what it is.
What is Finland sound?
I don't know.
What
I
does
can't
Finnish
get that,
sound like.
yeah.
I don't know what they sound like.
They probably just speak perfect English, so.
That's not as fun.
The Dutch and all those. Anyway, second, it has been said that men would go to villages near their own to steal other men's wives and then have the women become their own wives. They get their women and they come and they're our women now. That's
Very
Irish.
simple process.
Third is the story of Ronkainen trained his thieves by carrying big, heavy sacks on their backs, which could have been eventually evolved to a sport. They were already carrying big, heavy sacks between their legs, so why not throw it on
We
the
were
back?
carrying this heavy sacks. Let's make a sport out of it.
Yeah. Put one over our shoulders.
You got 5 points. You got 4. You win. I was like, what?
So the competitors run the course two at a time in initial heats, which with each team being timed. The 2 fastest teams qualify for a final heat, which may be timed or untimed, whatever you want.
We're going to pick.
With the winner of the final heat being the winner of the event. Because the final heat is determined by time, which it said it may be or maybe isn't. Qualifying teams do not necessarily have to win their initial heat. Additional heats may run for third place and on.
This makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't know where I got those instructions. If you want to run, you get to beat the time. If you want to do the time, we might not do the time. You can have the women on your back.
We won't get on third heat, but it doesn't matter because if we time the second heat, you're not going to worry about third heat.
Then you're then you win the heat.
It's hot out here. I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
There's no restriction on how the female teammate is carried. Several types of carry are common, including the piggyback, fireman's carry over the shoulder. Okay. However, the most popular is the Estonian carry, in which the wife hangs upside down with her legs around the husband's shoulders, holding onto his waist.
I did that once.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
That's right, I did.
Yeah, it's called the Estonian carry. Baby.
Yeah, I'm going to show you how to do this. I just carry my wife in my heart.
Yeah.
Does that
heavy
work?
Enough. Heavy enough. No.
It's a good one.
So yeah, they actually I think they have an event in the United States now. They have a website too. It's like wifecarryingcontest.com or something like that. Oh. We're not affiliated with it, so
yeah, don't go there. We don't know.
But anyway,
interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
How about you ever been to Beaver, Oklahoma, Cam?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
There's Beaver, Utah.
There is Beaver, Utah. But I would love to go down there because it is the home of the cow chip throwing championships, which is pretty cool.
Frisbee and the turds.
Exactly. Each year, people from all over the world travel to the town of just over 1,500 residents to watch and take part of the cow chip tossing championship. Yeah. The object is to throw a dried up piece of cow dung as far as possible.
I bet they can get that sailing.
Yeah. Drew Russell. He's the most recent champion of the cow chip throwing contest in Beaver, and he's also the new world record holder.
How far do you throw it?
188 feet and 6 inches.
Crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, that's yeah, he got it. It's the furthest they've ever done it in the 45-year history of the whole sport. He's like Tom Brady of cow chip throwing. Right there.
He's the goat.
Michael Phelps.
He's the goat.
Yeah, he's the goat.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so anyways,
that's a good one.
That's the cow chip tossing championship.
This one, I don't know. This one might be my favorite one.
Oh my gosh.
So freaking weird.
What is happening with Yorkshire?
Yeah. So Yorkshire.
I do love their pudding, though. Have you ever had Yorkshire pudding?
I don't think I have.
It's not actually pudding. It's like a roll. That's sort of like an eggy type of roll.
That doesn't make any sense. That ain't pudding.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
So this ferret legging was an endurance test or stunt in which ferrets were trapped in the trousers worn by a participant, also known as put them down and the ferret down the trousers.
Yeah.
It seems to have been popular among coal miners in Yorkshire, England. How do you say it? Is it Yorkshire?
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Yep.
Doesn't matter.
We're not English. Contestants put live ferrets into their trousers. The winner is the one who will last the longest and then release the animal. Last to release the animal.
It feels...
It
there's
feels
a lot
probably
of sexual
super weird.
jokes going on here.
Yeah. So ferret legging may have originated during the time when only a relatively wealthy man in England was allowed to keep animals used for hunting, forcing poachers to hide their illicit ferrets in their trousers.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah, I won't keep them down there. Following a brief resurgence in popularity.
Get it?
Yeah. In the 1970s, it has been probably because bell bombs are like, hey, put a bunch of ferrets in there.
I got like 5 ferrets in one leg.
It's been described as a dying sport, although a national ferret legging event was held in Richmond, Virginia, U.S. from 2003 to 2009.
What?
Yeah. In the sport of ferret legging, competitors tie their trousers at the ankles before placing 2 ferrets, not one, but 2, inside and securely fastening their belts to prevent the ferrets from escaping.
Gosh, can you wear like a cup?
No, you can't wear any underwear, actually.
Oh, nothing?
Yeah, each competitor then stands in front of a judge as long as he can. Competitors cannot be drunk or drugged, nor can the ferrets be sedated. In addition, competitors are not allowed to wear underwear beneath their trousers, which must allow the ferrets free access to their wiener. No, just kidding. Free access from one leg to the other. Yeah. And the ferrets must have a full set of teeth that must not have been filed or otherwise blunted. Like, it can nibble on whatever it wants.
So do you bring your own ferret?
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Because if you did, you could
could train him.
You
don't bite that.
Yeah, you bam. Bad.
You want to get slapped in the head?
Yeah.
You bite that again.
You bite that nut one more time.
Bite that again.
Don't bite that again. Don't.
Yeah, crouch over. That's right.
Hang from one side.
Switch back and forth. That's it.
Yeah.
Brush along the way.
Fair.
But ouch! That's a ticket. I'm going to win this.
You're going to get some treats tonight. We're going to win this competition.
That ain't yours. Don't touch it.
We're going to win this competition. But I got to tell you something, buddy.
Look at all the bites I got. Go to the doctor.
What happened down there?
Well,
I've been training for the ferret ferret legging.
I got one in my leg right now.
Let me tell you, it just hasn't gone well. Okay?
As you're doing the exam, watch out, your finger might get bit.
It ain't me, Doc. It's a ferret.
You get your finger.
You get you.
Anyways, that one, I'm just like, so weird.
Makes no sense. It sounds like something we would make up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what we should have done? We should have made up 3 of these.
We should
see if you guys could have figured out
that would have been a good
which
idea.
one was real and which one was
been a good idea.
Because people will be like, that's not real.
Yeah.
No way,
oh,
people.
balderdash.
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 Nobody puts a ferret in their pants unless it bite their wiener. That's not real.
Oh, man.
You know?
Yeah.
And listen to this. The shin kicking
contest.
contest.
In the same place?
Guess where it's from? Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire's shin kicking.
Yeah, we'll race the cheese and we'll kick the shins.
I can't believe it's from the same place.
I know. I saw that.
I didn't realize that.
It is pretty weird.
That's good.
Shin kicking is a popular sport, if you didn't know, and dates back to 1612. Since then, they have altered the rules to make the sport safer for all. Apparently, before it was just like, go ahead, kick the shit and see what happens. You know what I mean? Whoever wins, wins. First one to die wins.
Yeah.
Loses.
First one to lose his leg from compartment syndrome.
Now they're like, no, we've got to have some rules for this shin kicking event.
Ouch. That hurts.
That's too much. We gotta figure this out. So, preparing for the event, competitors must wear long trousers or track suits.
Good old trousers.
You can't put a ferret in the trousers for this one.
I kicked my ferret. I forgot.
What, did I just kick a ferret? Nope.
You didn't even grimace.
No. No big deal. You got to wear long trousers or a tracksuit. I'm going to go with the tracksuit.
I like the
probably,
tracksuit. Yeah. Just like, seem all warmed up for
ready
it.
to go. Competitors, listen to this, they may cushion their shins by using straw provided by the event organizers.
Straw.
Yeah. So they got a pile of straw there. You can put it up your trousers.
However much you want.
Mm-hmm. But you can't bring your own straw, and you can't do it any other way.
I don't know, man. Straw down my trousers versus like getting kicked in the shin. I'm just gonna take it straight.
Straw down your trousers is not good. I kind of went with a thing there. Footwear may be trainers, shoes, or soft-toed boots. You know, soft-toed boots. Any form of metal reinforcement toe on footwear is expressly forbidden. So you can't bring your like oil-filled work boots to this thing, because failure to comply will result in instant exclusion and barring from future events.
Yeah,
you're just done.
Yeah, that would do it.
They don't allow it. All right. So here's the rules of engagement. The bout starts with the competitors putting their hands on each other's shoulders with their arms straight. Makes sense. It's almost like dancing in middle school. A little bit is what it feels like, right? Dancing in middle school. Whilst maintaining that position, they must then try to kick each other in the shins with the aim of unbalancing their opponent and throwing him to the floor.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just about kicking.
Okay. I was going to say, when does it end?
It ends.
Nah, it hurts too bad.
You got to get thrown to the floor.
That makes sense. So when you're in the middle of a kick, you can throw them over.
Whoever achieves the most throws over 3 rounds is declared the winner.
Oh, so you just over and over.
3 rounds. Yep. Competitors will be disqualified if they kick their opponent anywhere above or below the shin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When it's shin kicking,
you
can't go above that.
Not dick kicking.
It ain't knee kicking, thigh kicking,
face kicking,
wiener kicking.
If a competitor throws their opponent without raising one leg and connecting with the opponent's shin, the throw will be given to their opponent.
Oh, if it's a dry shin kick?
You have to kick. You can't just throw them down.
Oh.
There has to be a kick involved with throw. Okay. The contest will be finished, and judged by a referee known as a stickler. He's a stickler for the rules. He's a referee. He decides the
That's
fairness.
a sweep. You can't do that.
Yeah. The fairness and the result of each contest. So that's shin kicking in Gloucestershire.
That is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Are they dancing or kicking shins?
I don't know. Kids these days.
Kids. So how about worm charming? Or worm grunting.
Hello.
Or my favorite, worm fiddling.
I fiddled my worm last night.
That boy's a worm fiddler.
That boy's out in the shed fiddling his worms again. I know it.
What does that mean?
Daddy, I didn't fiddle my worm.
I'm to be a world-class fiddler of the worm. So worm.
I'm going to grow up and be a world-class worm fiddler, Daddy. You help me with that?
So worm charming, worm grunting, worm fiddling, all the same thing, are methods of attracting earthworms from the ground.
Oh, okay.
The activity is usually performed to collect bait for fishing, but also can take the form of competitive sport in areas such as the UK, of course,
and
or just East Texas. Random. Yeah. As a skill and profession, worm charming is now very rare.
Don't find it much.
That's if you want a prepper group, like how good is your worm charming?
Yeah.
Being passed through generations to ensure that it survives. Nice. There are 18 rules of this event 18? As determined by the International Federation of Charming Worms and Allied Pastimes.
Oh, the IFCWAP?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I hate those guys.
I like the Allied Pastimes.
I
know. These stipulate that each competitor operates within a 3x3 meter plot, may only use vibrations or music to attract worms.
They love Taylor Swift.
Yeah, of course they do. Who doesn't?
They love her.
Is not allowed to dig or use drugs to attract worms.
I got cocaine.
Pour a little, a little crack on that.
They love a little bit of meth. You put a little on the grass, they come out.
I can't tell you how many worms you get.
You can't stop them. They keep coming.
The whole earth starts moving and all the worms come up. It may stick a garden fork into the ground and vibrate it to encourage worms.
What's a garden fork? Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And all worms must be returned to the ground once the birds have gone to roost on the evening of the event. This is to prevent a feast for the birds after the
We
event.
hate them bastards. Don't let them eat too much.
Yeah. Whoa.
You got to put them worms back in the ground.
The current world
He's like
record.
stomping them back into the earth. Get back in the
poke
ground.
it down in there. Just like smashing it to pieces.
Give me your shovel. I got to
As long
get
as the
these.
birds don't get them.
Yeah. I can't, it's weird.
Yeah, I was like, all right, worms, get back in here.
Mm-hmm.
And get that crack out
Get
of there.
back in you. Give me back my methamphetamines.
The current world record was established on 29th of June, 2009.
A date that
by-
will live in infamy.
By 10-year-old Sophie Smith of Williston, England.
Wow.
Who raised 567 worms during Britain's World Worm Charming
Oh my
Championship.
gosh,
The
567?
WWCC.
Ah, wow.
567.
A
That's,
lot of worms.
yeah, she's good.
She's
tired.
got it down. 10
That's
years
Sophie.
old.
That's Sophie.
10 years old, and she's the best in the world.
Yeah, just
Wow.
yeah. Stars
what she-
aligned for some kids.
Imagine what she's going to be when she's 30.
Yeah.
Who knows? Worm filling at its finest.
Yep.
Yes.
And not even a boy.
Not even a boy.
The main.
Yeah. The what?
The worm tamer.
The worm
himself.
tamer himself, yeah. How about the toilet seat toss?
Sounds
This
fun.
is exactly what you think it is, Cam.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of rednecks throwing toilet seats.
So is this a? They actually have a little event.
Yeah. It's they actually have the Summer Redneck Games in East Dublin, Georgia.
Georgia.
This is one of the big events. And basically, it's horseshoes with toilet seats.
Ah, that's cool.
Anyways, it's not that interesting.
Yeah.
But it is something.
It was one that was there, right?
Yeah.
I actually think this one's pretty awesome. There are so many photos
Yeah, there is.
of this extreme ironing, which is an outdoor sport that combines the danger and excitement of an extreme sport with the satisfaction of a well-pressed shirt.
I've always wanted those two to combine.
Both of those are extreme, right?
Yeah.
It involves taking an iron board to remote locations and ironing a few items of laundry.
Yeah.
Get your socks, get your trousers, get your shirt
Undies.
while you're upside down, Grand Tetons
While you're
or something.
bungee jumping.
Yeah.
Or something.
Extreme ironing was an idea that started in Leicester, England in 1997.
Of course it's England.
Yeah. I can't believe that have you seen some of the pictures of
Yeah,
this?
it's insane.
They're like on a rock face with
Yeah.
an ironing board or
Yeah.
somebody underneath the ironing board. It's just so weird. In June 1999, there was a worldwide recruitment campaign that involved American, Fiji, New Zealand, Australian, and South African. And this is what kind of led to the Extreme Ironing International, which was when it first was recognized as a sport. In 2000, a team of enthusiastic Germans
We are
took
very excited about doing this ironing and this very
We
funny.
will do the best.
We are very good at ironing in any place we want to.
We are the best race. We do the best.
We are so good at making our shirts very wrinkle-free while also climbing a mountain.
I iron this shirt very good.
Ah.
This led to the development of easel ironing, a
What?
branch of extreme ironing that combines ironing with the principles of meditation.
Of course,
And a German
yeah.
Extreme Ironing Research Center
What?
exploring the physics of the sport.
Woo? What?
I know. Yeah.
They have a center, a
Of course they
research
do.
center?
They do it the best. The best.
Wow.
Yeah. Some locations that such performances have taken place include mountainsides,
Yeah.
in a canoe, while skiing or snowboarding on top of a large bronze statue.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of a street, underwater, in the middle of the M1 motorway, cycle race, while parachuting,
Yep.
under the ice sheet of a frozen lake.
Why not?
And the performances have been conducted solo or by groups. Yeah. You should check out these photos. It's totally worth it.
Pretty stupid.
Extreme ironing.
If you ask me.
I don't even think there's any award. It's just almost like a
A
tongue-in-cheek type thing.
freaking a nice press shirt is the
It
reward.
is, yeah.
Okay,
They're like,
award, reward.
yeah.
You look good.
Yeah. So
Okay.
get out there. Start doing some extreme
How
ironing.
about pantomime horse racing?
Yeah.
This is
I think
stupid.
It is stupid, but
Oh
I'd
my
probably watch
gosh. So people bet on it and stuff.
Do they
So
really?
basically what this is
it. So it's just like a horse race, but
with two
two
people
people.
in a suit. There's a front legs and back legs. And these people, they get in this horse costume and they run around racing each other.
where did this start?
Freaking England.
I figured.
Freaking England. But it reminds me of like those weirdos that like think they're cats or that
Yeah.
think they're horses or that's
Yeah.
what it feels like.
Yeah.
But I think it's less that, more of just like,
Drunken.
we've got nothing else to do. It's Saturday. Let's go run.
Should we see how fast we can run on this?
What do you think we could do? You think we could run over some jumps and some hills?
We've got the cheese fest. We've got the trouser ferrets. Let's do some pantomime.
Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, England's Grand National and Pantomime Horse Racing Championships are but two main events that you don't want to miss, with contestants going all out in anything from 1 furlong sprints to steeplechase events.
That sounds amazing.
Yep.
I'm
There
sure
you
that's
go.
a dying sport.
Yeah.
Gotta be, right?
Gotta be.
Outhouse racing.
Oh.
Pretty straightforward.
Sure.
You get in an outhouse.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be fallen to certain dimensions, and of course, has to have toilet paper and a toilet. And somebody sits in there with the helmet on, and other racers push this outhouse 150 meters towards the finish line.
Do you
Been
have
going
to have
on
your,
for 42 years.
Do you have to have your pants down, like you're
I hope
taking
so.
a deuce
I hope
in there?
so. No, I think you can
don't?
have your pants on.
Okay.
This started supposedly in Conconnelly, Washington.
Okay.
So, small northern town that's been hosting outhouse races on Main Street, placing the covered toilets on skis and snow.
Oh, okay.
One of the outhouse racing officials, Jacob Bile, said, "It's just something my grandma and a few other of the chamber members did 42 years ago. They saw a race over in Idaho and decided that would be kind of a cool thing to do here."
Why not?
That is the history.
Wow.
That's where it started.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So these race outhouses down a hill.
Okay.
Okay.
That's something.
Pretty simple, yeah.
This one makes sense because I'm pretty sure I've done this before. Shovel racing.
Yeah.
You ever seen this?
Yep.
Basically, it's like sledding, but instead of a sled, you got a big
It
shovel.
kind of makes more sense. Like, it's better than a regular sled.
Yeah, and you kind of have some, like you can steer a little bit,
Actually
right?
makes more sense to me.
It came from like oddly practical beginnings. Ski resort workers discovered that riding their shovels allowed them to move quickly from point to point. So they were up there, doing what they needed to do, and they're like, "I gotta get back down there. How am I gonna do it?" Sit on your shovel, shoot down the hill.
Makes sense.
You're good to go. So in 1997, shovel racing was even featured in the Winter X Games. I don't remember that.
I don't
However,
either.
due to safety reasons, it did not make
Safety
any more.
reasons.
Yeah, it's not safe.
They do all that other stuff. Snowmobile backflips.
That's
but
safe.
Snow shovel racing is banned.
Mm-hmm.
That's too dangerous.
Wait, shovels? No.
Yeah, I ain't gonna fly.
But at top speed, shovel racing competitors can reach 70 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways.
That doesn't make sense.
I know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why it's
but
banned.
shovel racing is the thing.
I thought maybe there'd be like England had like shield racing.
Yeah, something like
Something
that. Huh?
like-
Yeah.
But no, they haven't done that. But what they have done is bog snorkeling.
My hell. Is this another one from England?
It is. Of course it is.
You guys have got too much time on your hands. I don't know what you're doing over there.
You do.
Go to work once
Controlled
in a while.
half the world.
Yeah.
And now you've resorted
Now
to
you're
these
bored.
weird competitions.
Now you're bored, and you're just like, we're going to make everything a
Yeah.
competition.
Bog snorkeling is a sport event where competitors aim to compete 2 consecutive lengths of 60 yards, water-filled trench cut through a peat bog in the shortest time possible.
Okay.
Wearing traditional snorkel, diving mask, and flippers.
Okay.
They complete the course without swimming. They have to rely on their flipper power alone. So they're just kicking, letting their head do their.
Oh, you can't use your hands.
You can't use your hands.
Okay.
So
Weird.
people that lost their arms.
This is perfect sport for them.
This
They're
is made for them.
They're more aerodynamic.
Yeah. The women's world record stands at 1 minute, 22.56 seconds by Kirsty Johnson.
Wow.
In
Good
2014.
job. KJ.
The men's world record was set by Neil Rudder.
Neil
2018 with the
Bob
time of
snorkeling champion, Neil Rudder.
1 minute, 18.81 seconds.
Yeah, look at that.
Boom.
Neil Rudder.
Boom.
Bog snorkeling champion.
His arms are like withered.
Yeah.
I don't use them.
Wears flippers everywhere he goes.
Both were set at the, see here, Wainwright Bog in Llanwrtyd Wells in
Who
Wales.
spells it something like that?
I don't know. Llanwrtyd.
Looks like a
Llanwrtyd.
teenager texted
I
that.
know.
Like,
Some
and it
English
means
must be
something
like,
else.
Bastards don't know.
These idiots. I don't even know
A
what to spell
water-filled-
Llanwrtyd.
A water-filled trench, 60 yards in length, is cut through a peat bog. Organized. This is like the rules. Competitors
Okay.
must wear snorkel, mask, flippers. Wetsuit is not compulsory, but is often worn.
For sure.
Bog snorkeling competitors must travel 2 consecutive lengths. The
Okay.
course must be completed without using conventional swimming strokes. So there you go.
Interesting.
If you really like the sound of that, you can enter next year.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
I don't know what
Actually,
that
this to me seems like actually would be fun to watch.
This one really, yeah.
Chess boxing.
This one I can't believe it even exists.
The World Chess Boxing Organization has exquisitely combined the cerebral, which is a 4-minute round of chess, with the sweet science of pounding the cerebellum, a 3-minute round of boxing, until it sprouts chirping birdies. There's a limit of 11 total rounds, and a winner can be declared by knockout, checkmate, or referee's decision. So it starts out with a 4-minute round of chess,
Or you
then it
start
goes
with the main-
then it
the
goes
mind.
to a 3-minute round of boxing, back and forth
So weird.
until someone's either knocked out, or has a TKO, or gets a checkmate. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, getting your bell rung and trying to do like,
yeah.
strategy, man, I can't imagine that being.
That'd be really tough.
super interesting.
And like boxing,
Checkmate.
like boxing at the same time thinking about what your next move is
Yeah.
on the board. Ah, come on.
that would put quite the mix in there.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
I'd watch it.
Bird song contest,
Okay.
or the proper name is Vikensport
This is the vegan sport.
or Finch sport, is what
Finch
it's
sport, okay.
Is in Dutch. Is a competitive animal sport in which male common chaffinches. Chaffinches I don't know, are made to compete for the highest number of bird calls in an hour. Also called Vikenzetting, finch sitting. It is primarily active in Flanders, the Dutch-speaking region of Belgium.
Okay.
A Vikensport traces its origins to the competitions held in Flemish merchants, or by Flemish merchants in 1596. Chicken bird. It has been doing this for a long time, and
Yeah,
it's considered part of the traditional Flemish culture. As of 2007, it was estimated that there are over 13,000 enthusiasts called Vikeniers,
I'm a Vinkeneer. How about you?
breeding 10,000 birds every year.
Jeez.
Animal rights activists oppose the sport.
Why?
I don't know.
It sounds like they're breeding a lot of birds.
Yeah, they're letting them
They should
play
like
their
that,
song
right?
as they should, right?
Yeah, let 'em
In
sing
a
their song.
contest, a row of small cages, each housing a single male finch, is lined up approximately 6 feet apart along a street. The proximity of the cages increases the number of calls as the birds sing for mates and to establish territory. A timekeeper begins and ends the contest with a red flag.
Okay.
Every time a bird sings a correct terminating flourish to their call, most often transcribed as susquewate, a tally mark is chalked, is made along the long wooden stick. Good. 1.
Good job.
2.
Suskweet.
The bird singing its song is most times during 1 hour, or the most during 1 hour wins.
Wow.
Champion finches regularly sing hundreds of calls in contests.
Wow.
So, even though this is a very, large gentleman's sport,
Yeah.
it doesn't come without its cheating scandals.
Of course.
So accusations of artificial enhancement. One finch sang a record 1,278 susqueets, or whatever that is, in 1 hour, and the owner was later accused of doping the bird with testosterone.
Oh.
Get the bird's wiener all... Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's going to town on
Yeah.
that song. After one contestant sang exactly the same number of calls in 3 rounds, the box was opened and a mini CD player was discovered with him.
Of course.
Wow. Every time he's hitting that 1,100 and then he's done.
And then it starts skipping.
I'm like,
You got a scratch
nice
on that
job,
CD.
Nice job.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Bird song contest. How about pumpkin sailing?
This one I think would be kind of fun.
Yeah, so basically what this is these people get these pumpkins that are gigantic, like 1,000 pounds. They cut them out,
Makes sense. I didn't think they would float, but they
put them in the river, and they float in them.
That
for some
sounds
reason.
pretty cool.
In 2022, Dwayne Hansen, he celebrated his 60th birthday by doing the unthinkable. He created a boat using an 846-pound pumpkin
What a nightmare.
and used it to travel 38 miles down the Missouri River.
Crap.
Yeah, it was a world record.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So that's a thing that
It's
people
something to do with those big things. Like when they
Yeah.
have them at like the pumpkin things here.
What
I'm
are you
like,
gonna do with
what do
them?
you do with that? Like,
Don't they
you got to
usually-
carry it with a tractor.
Yeah.
It's like just pointless.
Yeah, there's nothing but put it in the river and float down
yeah,
with it.
I just get out and just float down.
Yeah.
It's biodegradable.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
pretty
So
cool.
it's pumpkin sailing.
yeah, I've seen them. They're all painted up. And they got like numbers on them and
Pretty
everything.
sweet, yeah.
Fireball soccer. This sounds pretty fun.
This does
Known
sound
locally as sepak bola api.
Well, a game of sepak bola api.
I play sepak bola api.
Mhm.
It is a unique game played by Indonesian students to welcome the month of Ramadan. Fireball soccer is a more extreme sport than the regular soccer matches, obviously.
Yeah.
This is a sport where they test the courage of students in East Java. The sport is celebrated in Yogurtville. Yogyakarta, Bogar,
Yo plate.
Tasikmalaya, oh my gosh, and Papua regions in Indonesia.
Okay.
The ball is made of coconut, from a palm tree soaked in kerosene.
Oh, well, there you go.
Some say they bathe the coconut ball for weeks, and others say, nah, it's just 30 minutes.
Some say they bathe the coconut ball for a week. Some say.
Daddy, why does the ball burn so long?
He's English, of course.
Well, son.
Well, son, some say that they soak the coconut for
And then he became like a pirate. Well,
son.
They soak the coconut for years.
That coconut falls in the kerosene for a week.
Our voices are getting so wild. All over the place.
Yeah.
Daddy. Yes, son.
His dad's a pirate. Some dads are pirates.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't judge.
Somebody's dad out there is a pirate.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
And he knows about this.
Oh, my
Fireball
gosh.
soccer.
So the pre-rituals before the game are vital things to do by the player. They light the coconut on fire, soak all the players in salt and non-flammable spices.
Salt?
Smart.
Let me salt you down, buddy.
I know.
My ass. I got cuts from that ferret.
Just kick it.
Just kick the
say a
damn
little
coconut.
Say a little prayer. I think it says prayer.
Say a little player for you.
It's a written prayer.
Yeah, no, it is, yeah.
And start kicking the ball with their bare feet.
Oh, they're bare feet?
Yeah, players are said to train their spirit and go through a special ritual that apparently makes them impervious to fire.
Hell yeah, no fire gonna hurt me.
Rub that salt on your eyes and your face.
You're gonna be the best fighter soccer player there is.
So random. My goodness, he's good. Look at him kick that ball.
I've seen treasures, but this kid's a treasure of the sport of fire soccer.
He's a ball kicker, that one. A fireball kicker. Players follow set rituals prior to the match, including fasting. Even.
They got a fast too?
Yeah, sounds horrible.
Stop eating. You got your match coming up.
You haven't eaten or drinking, have some salt all over you. A little brine.
Fold your arms, we're saying a prayer.
You say, fold your coffee, drink it.
No. Well, that's something. Fireball
Pirates
soccer.
like it.
I love it. I love it. How about sculpture racing?
That sounds kind of cool.
There's a lot that goes into this. Like this
Sculpture racing.
couple of guys like put some wheels on a sculpture that their sons were building. They thought it was cool, and then they all just started racing each other down the street, basically. You know what I mean?
It has to go to racing. It's like you
Yeah.
can't just build a sculpture in your garage. You got to race
my
it.
sculpture's faster than yours. And then
My dad's sculpture's way faster.
yeah, and so like they challenged each other to a race, and then suddenly there was another guy, like some other dude just showed up, and he won the race. He wasn't even like part of this.
They're
but-
just racing, and somebody passes him on another sculpture.
He was a turtle that laid eggs. This sculpture, and he won somehow. Doesn't make any sense. But now, like, this is a whole thing. Like, the event was repeated in 1970. The course subsequently expanded to include cross-country terrain. It wasn't just in the road anymore. Now, this like their machines tackle mud, sand, water, gravel, pavement, everything. So that's sculpture racing. They just like any sort of sculpture. It doesn't matter.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
That's great.
You know,
Whatever you want.
yeah, any kind of sculpture,
Yeah,
really.
Gargoyle go up the mountain. It doesn't
That's
matter.
fine. Put wheels on it.
That's cool. I
Pretty
like
crazy.
that.
What else? You know what else you like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cam? Freaking nutrient survival. Okay?
Yeah.
Nutrient survival.
I love it.
Made with real ingredients, made in America to keep Americans healthy, strong, and alert. Perfect for today, ready for anything ahead. From hearty, delicious entrees and nutrient-dense snacks to immunity-boosting drinks and strength-building shakes, each with 40 essential nutrients available in handy singles, daily use pantry packs, durable cans, and 3 to 90-day survival kits, keeping your world safe and your body in peak condition. This isn't your cheap, empty-calorie, bland food storage. This stuff actually has nutritional value and tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Okay. Check out their NREs, Nutrition Ready to Eat. These things are awesome. Head over to nutrientsurvival.com. Use our code CASUALPREPPERS for 10% off your order. It's beautiful. You get some fantastic long-term food storage, plus you support the podcast.
That's awesome.
Get it
Eat
done.
healthier in the apocalypse.
100%.
That's
100%.
100%.
100%.
All right, so this one is the World Series of Birding or droning, whatever.
This is different than the singing.
This is different than the singing.
Okay.
These are lookers. These are watchers. These are bird watchers. And there's a competition. The World Series of Birding began 4 decades ago with the purpose of raising awareness for the importance of protecting birds in a fun, competitive venue.
Okay.
Okay. What began back in 1983 by a small group of forward-thinking birders, Pete Baczynski, Pete Dunn, and David Sibley.
Dave probably felt out of...
He's all, I don't know, I need to be a Pete.
My name ain't Pete. Pete, and David.
I'm going to go request a change it to Pete Sibley.
Pete Sibley.
This has evolved into an annual 24-hour competition where upwards of 100 teams compete to count as many bird species as possible while raising awareness and funds to help protect birds.
Okay.
Rules: you got to see good and count good.
That makes sense. So you just like go wherever?
I don't know. I was going to say, if it's in the same place, you're like, magpie.
Yeah. I saw the magpie too. I saw a magpie. We all saw
sparrow.
A magpie.
Yeah. Everybody's getting the same score.
Yeah, it's like 100 teams.
Now you look south, I look north.
100 teams. Everybody got first place.
I like how they have like, it's like a sniper and then the, was it Sniper Sport? The guy that's like watch.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, you get that bird over there, you just get him. Look over there.
Look, get him.
Chalk it up.
Put it down.
So,
how about the World Beard and Mustache
this would be cool.
Championship?
I'd like to see this.
It's a biennial competition hosted by the World Beard and Mustache Association. That's WBMA, if you wondered.
Yeah.
In which men with beards and mustaches display lengthy, highly styled facial hair.
That sounds cool.
The first championship took place in Hofen an der Enns, Germany.
We have the best beards.
Well, beards are the best in the whole world.
Like big, I can't do it.
We will beat the entire world with our beards. You just got to get the Arnold.
Yeah, I got to get the Arnold.
Screaming there.
Nah, you got the big beard.
Since 2007, the official World Beard and Mustache Championships
Beard building
have been held every 2 years on odd years only. There are 3 brackets of facial hair.
Only on odd years, huh? Can't do it on even. Don't grow good on
3
even.
brackets of facial hair: mustache, partial beard, and full beard. Each bracket is broken into individual categories. There's 17 categories, but there were 18 different categories in 2009, 2013, and 2015 championships, and 27 categories
of course.
in
Gotta have
2017,
more categories.
Including for the first time craft beard categories.
Well, that's got cheese, craft cheese in it.
Craft beard. A new category for 1 centimeter short carved beards was introduced in 2013 and repeated in 2015, called the trend beard.
Oh my gosh.
Which is great. They
So
even
it's like
have
15,000.
They even have a ladies category.
Oh,
The
nice.
Whiskerinas.
Oh. Very nice.
Oh, these ladies have got the beards, huh?
Ah, very nice.
Very
The
nice.
whiskers.
That's
cool.
That's the thing.
So here's kind of a old barbaric type thing.
Okay.
Tar barrels tradition.
Yeah.
So the exact origins are unknown, but probably started after the gunpowder plot of 1605 for you historians. I have no idea. what that-
Gunpowder plot of 1605.
Yeah. Various alternative reasons suggest for burning barrels have included fumigation of cottages and as a warning of the approach of the Spanish Armada. So November 5th each year is marked by
1955? November 5th.
1605.
I know.
What are you talking about?
It's a Back to the Future reference.
Oh,
Never mind.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Never mind.
Sorry about that. November 5th each year is marked by a tar barrel racing, an ancient tradition predating Guy Fawkes, in which men, women, and children as young as 7 years old set light to wooden barrels soaked in tar and run through the streets with them on their heads
What?
at great speed. Yeah.
On their heads?
Yeah. They carry them like on their backs and they're like burning out the sides. It's crazy.
Sounds like a bad idea.
It's a great idea.
Is
the
this in
West
England?
Country, yeah, of course it is.
Of course it is.
The West Country has a history of torchlight processions and a tradition of burning barrels and rolling them down the streets. But Autry is the only village where barrels are rolled but carried above
We
their
don't
heads.
roll them. We put them
Yeah.
over our
They
heads.
figured it wasn't challenging enough. They're like, by hell, we'll put it on our backs.
Yeah, you those guys just rolling them. We're going to put them right on our friggin' heads.
So, like a day long, and they just
Yeah.
like have these people running down the street with a big old burning tar barrel.
Can you imagine,
They'll
like-
soak the barrel for weeks before and then start that stuff.
You imagine just like this is a thing you look forward to every
I know.
year. This is
Yeah.
like it's like a Christmas
Yeah.
thing or like a Halloween.
my favorite yet. My favorite time of year is Christmas and tar barrel.
Tar barrel time is a special time for families, you know?
I love it. It smells of burnt tar.
Yeah, that smell
Can't do
of
an
burnt
English
tar
accent
and rolling cheeses. Oh,
It's delicious.
delicious.
We live in the best country.
This country used to be the best, but we're still the best because we got all these crazy things to do all year long.
Yeah, baby.
And now you're Austin Powers.
It's just all over. Anyways,
Cool.
so there you go.
How about cell phone throwing?
I've done that.
We've all done it once or twice,
Yeah.
but now it's an international sport. Started in Finland,
Finland, huh?
yeah, in the year 2000. It's a sport in which participants throw
Where's
mobile
Nokia?
phones.
Nokia is in. Where did Nokia come from?
Don't know.
Is it Sweden?
I
Swedish?
don't know.
Swish?
I don't
Swishish?
know. It's a sport in which participants throw mobile phones and are judged on distance or technique. It's not just distance. There's technique in this. World record holder Dries Fährmans, with an official Guinness World Record throw.
Finland. That makes sense.
Okay.
Nokia.
With her world record throw of 110 meters.
Oh, wow.
Dude. Like that, you freaking
Fling
got a
that
hold
sucker.
of that sucker. And
Let me
it
talk to
go.
my wife for a minute. Boom!
Babe, give me a call. There are usually 4 categories in the sport.
Wow.
The original, it's also called traditional. You can call it either one. Is an
Oh.
over-the-shoulder throw, furthest distance winning. Simple meat and potatoes of cell phone throwing. Okay? Then there's freestyle. This is where you get points for aesthetics
Freestyle.
and creativity or choreography. Maybe you're doing like Shakespeare while you're throwing it.
Capiota or capoeira.
Capoeira, whatever.
Capiota. Was that a pudding?
Tapioca.
It's got some weird name in there.
Then we got team original. You have 3 competitors. You have 1 throw each, and their scores are added together. Then you
Wow.
got the junior, 12 and younger. Okay? The phones
I think I
used...
played this on Xbox.
Yeah, they got
It's
it
a
on
good
Wii.
game. It's
They
a
got it
good
on Wii.
game. It's a Wii game, that's for sure.
The phones used vary not just between events, but between competitors, with any phone that weighs over 220 grams being acceptable.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, the junior, huh? That's pretty fun.
Yeah, junior
That's
category,
fun.
yeah.
Kids aren't left out.
no.
The Great Knaresborough Bed Race. Knaresborough? Knaresborough. Has been this has been held every year since 1966, excluding the worst years in history, 20 and 21.
Except for the COVID years.
It's always
race our beds.
We died on the beds.
Everybody was sick.
Yeah, we needed to use the beds.
Couldn't race 'em.
It's always on the second Saturday in June, if you're wanting to know.
So it's a lot like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yep. It's a mighty pageant of decorated beds, passengers, and runners. I'm going in and
It's
out
a
of
mighty pageant.
combined with grueling athletic contest around the course of 2.4 miles.
Jeez, 2.4 miles.
Yeah,
huh?
so it's kind of crazy. I was looking up pictures of it. They'll basically they can have this large team, and typically they have a kid on the bed. The kid has to wear a helmet, and they go from like this. Look, all this they go through. They go through Parkland, through the Nid Gorge, up the steep Castle Ings to the town center. They
tough.
then hurtle down High Street and Bond End. You got to look these up.
Okay.
Cross High Bridge and dash to the I can't say it that way. Dash to the climax of the event, the 30-yard swim through the ever icy waters of River Nid.
Do they take the bed through
Beds,
the water?
racers, and all. Yeah.
Wow.
So you see these kids like terrified, and these guys are running along.
So a water bed would be good.
Water bed would be great.
Because you just float through there.
But yeah, the kid's like sitting on there with the helmet, like, I don't want to be part of this.
Daddy's a tea time.
But they do it. They do it.
I better get my biscuit after this. Riding this bed all over.
Tea and crumples.
Yeah. How about gurning? The Gurning World
yeah.
Championships. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It is dumb.
Do you know what a gurn or a chuck is?
I didn't know that's what it was called. a
Basically,
gurn.
it's a distorted facial expression and a verb to describe the action. So gurning is making that facial expression.
Okay.
A typical gurn, so if you're wondering, it involves projecting the lower jaw as far forward as you can and up as possible and covering the upper lip with the lower
like
lip.
those guys that have no teeth or
Yeah.
a jaw, they just like close their whole face
they're
around.
gurning. So the gurning contests are a rural English tradition, of course. They're held regularly in some villages with contestants.
We should have flown and done this episode in England.
We should have. With contestants traditionally framing their faces through a horse collar. You know, like those big,
yeah.
like, you would, like to put like a plow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's known as gurning or through a braffin.
Through Braffin.
Gurning through a braffin. The World Gurning Championship takes place annually at Egremont Crab Fair.
Gardening through the Braffin.
Gurning through a braffin. the fair dates back to 1267.
Holy crap.
King Henry III.
He loved it. It was so funny.
Look at them, they're gurning. We're going to make an annual
Off with the
event.
heads. It's not funny
Kill
enough.
that one. But the rest of them, bring them back next year.
It's quite fun.
I like this. Let's race some beds and do some gurning.
Where's our cheese whiz?
Yeah. Cheese whiz. Those with the greatest gurn capabilities are often those with no teeth,
Yeah, that makes
as this
total
provides
sense.
greater room to move the jaw further up.
That's awesome.
All right? Yeah, I can't do it. I got teeth.
Gurning, yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts a
That
little bit.
hurts bad.
In some cases, the elderly or otherwise toothless can be capable of gums covering the entire nose.
Oh my gosh.
Now that's when
Swallow
you know,
their face.
that's when you know a good gurning. When you can't see the nose.
That's a good gurning if I've seen one.
I've never seen a gun like that. Can't even see his eyebrows.
Combing his hair with his upper lip.
He swallowed his bangs, boy.
That's a fine gurning.
That's a fine gun right there.
That's a fine gurning if I've seen one.
He's a Scottish guy now.
Okay, so this one is called the Tunorama Festival. Started in 1980. The idea came from the observation. The main method of unloading overflowing fishing boats was a manual and very physical demanding task.
Sure.
From the decks of the boats, men would haul these huge fish up onto the waiting trucks, testing their strength with every toss. In search of a few hours, locals would line up, in search of work.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, locals would line up and attempt a simple test, throwing tuna as far as they could.
Oh, okay,
Whoever
yeah.
threw it the furthest would get work that day.
Makes
so
sense.
it became an event. I just was looking at their website, though, and they said that it had, come to an end. I don't know why.
Probably because of COVID.
Yeah, probably.
All the tuna got COVID. We can't throw them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
How about the World Pea Shooting Championships?
It sounds pretty
It's
fun.
been held annually since 1971 on the second Saturday in July in the village of Witcham near Ely in Cambridgeshire,
Of course.
England, and has attracted competitors as far afield as the USA, Canada, Scandinavia, France, Spain, New Zealand, and Holland. So, peas are shot at a 12-inch target.
Father, I want to be a worm charmer. You'll be a pea shooter.
Yeah, my daddy was a pea shooter. Your daddy was a pea shooter. You're going to be a pea shooter. Your kids are going to be pea shooters.
But father.
But father, I want to chase the cheese. Please.
Please let me chase the cheese.
Please let me. You can. Peas are shot at a 12-inch target smeared with glazing putty.
Ooh. What is that?
I get to smear the target. I get to lick my fingers afterwards. Stop sucking on your glazing putty, boy.
Save some glazing putty for everyone.
Everybody's got to do the pea shooting. Don't eat all the glazing putty. You're going to get a tummy ache.
I can't stop eating the glazing putty.
Give me some Yorkshire pudding with this glazing putty.
Love a glazing putty. Glazing putty.
But it's perfect with my cheese.
Father.
Father.
I have to throw in the high pitch. I love that.
Anyone is permitted to enter. They don't put any rules on this.
No.
Okay? You alive, you can enter. Pea shooting thing. They must not, your pea shooter can't exceed 12 inches in length. Otherwise, everybody else feels bad about themselves.
Everybody's super embarrassed.
Yeah.
Look at that pea shooter.
And you can't share your pea shooter with other competitors. One pea shooter per shooter. Okay?
Good. That sounds like a good rule.
No laser pea shooters allowed in the children's event.
I'm kidding me.
Yeah.
They shoot the eyes out.
But in the adults, you can't have a laser pea
They're
shooter.
too worried the kids are going to blind each other.
Yeah. There are no technology restrictions. Like you could have like a satellite pea shooter or something. Provided peas to be propelled only by blowing air by mouth.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You can do whatever the hell else you want.
What else are you going to do?
It doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know. Target distance is 12 feet for adults, 10 feet for over 8s, and 8 feet for under 7s. I was confused reading that sucker. Nobody knows how long it
There's
is.
some numbers involved.
Just find some glazing
12 over
putty.
10, 10 over 8, 5 over 7 feet.
Get to pea shooting.
Wait, which class am I in?
Only peas provided may be used. Can't bring your own damn peas. Okay?
That's just not regulation size pea.
Yeah, he brought his own peas.
He brought his own peas. Oh, man. He's ruining the glaze.
His peas are not regulation size.
His pieces are growing too big.
Only 5 per contestant in early rounds, 10 in the semis and the finals.
These numbers don't make any sense.
No.
10 and the 5, or the 5 and the 10 with the 15 feet. You got to choose to be 7 if you want to get
7 unders, 7 for 8 unders, and you got a 10 for the 12 rounders.
Peas is the finest championship ever.
I've been huffing the glazing putty.
Yeah. Woo. Okay.
I'm getting lightheaded.
How about screw the peas? Wait, screw the peas championship. How about cherry spitting championship? Man, this is getting rough.
Yeah.
The International Cherry Pit Spitting Championship held in Eau Claire, Michigan, was founded in 1974.
His little sister is named Claire. She always picked her nose. Ew, Claire. You know, that's what they named
naming it after her. It's making fun of her.
Yeah.
By Herb Teichmann.
Teichmann.
The owner of the Tremendous Fruit Farm. I didn't realize that.
Tremendous.
It's tremendous, kids. To raise awareness of both his farm and the tart cherry harvest.
Yeah.
Each contestant is allowed to pick 3 cherries and one at a time chew around the cherry pit. They then stand with their feet against a line and spit the cherry seed as far in front of them as they can. The contestant is given 3 attempts, then their longest spit is measured. The competition has multiple categories to compete in, including adult male and female categories, as well as the youth categories of 5 under and 6, 8 over and 10, 12, 19, and 5.
Yeah.
It was at this competition where Brian Young Gun Krause claimed the Guinness World Record in 2004. He spit 93 feet, 6.5 inches at the International Cherry Pit Spitting Championship in Eau Claire, Michigan.
Brian Young Gun Krause at it again.
Spit on his pit. Boom.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How about the World Toe Wrestling Championships? This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's a sport involving 2 opponents who lock toes and attempt to pin each other's feet down. Similar, it's like arm wrestling, but with your friggin' toes.
It's gross.
It's stupid. It was invented in 1976 in Staffordshire, United Kingdom.
Of course.
By 4 drinkers in the ye old Royal Oak Inn. The World Toe Wrestling Championship was held annually since 1994 in Derbyshire, England. The most prolific player is Alan Nasty Nash, a multiple-time champion.
Look at these toes.
Nasty Nash at it again. I'm wearing my thongs today. Lisa Twinkle Toes Shenton is a previous women's world champion. It's similar to arm wrestling. To play, players must take off their shoes and socks as the game is played with bare feet, obviously. Players must link toes, and each player's foot must touch flat on the other person's 2 out of 3 rounds. Rounds are played first with the right foot, then with the left, and the right again.
So
if
their
necessary.
foot's flat, and then they just lift their toes.
Trying to wrestle them to the ground. Stupidest thing I've ever seen.
It is stupid. Oh my god.
Yep.
Battle of the Oranges. I'm realizing now we probably put too many competitions on here.
That's all right.
Just deal with it. Battle of the Oranges. The Carnival of Ivrea is a festival in northern Italy, or the Italian city of Ivrea.
Okay. Which
includes a tradition of throwing oranges between organized groups known as the Battle of the Oranges. It is the largest food fight in Italy and surrounding countries.
Oh.
This is kind of interesting. One of the citizens is elected Mugnaya, Miller's daughter. Legend has it that Ivrea once was ruled by an evil duke. I was going to skip all that.
Go ahead.
Violetta got married, and the Duke claimed his droit du seigneur, seigneur, the right to spend a night with each newlywed woman.
Oh, yeah.
And forced her into his castle. Great plan. Once in the Duke's room, Violetta used the opportunity to cut off his head.
Boom.
Starting a revolution that eventually brought about the destruction of the castle. Today, the carriages are said to represent the Duke's armies, and the orange throwers are revolutionaries.
Booyah.
So, boom. Basically, a bunch of people get together and they just pummel each other with oranges. The thing that's kind of weird about it, they said an estimated 265,000 pounds of oranges were brought into the city because they don't naturally grow there in Sicily. So it's like, why use those?
Why'd you throw
They said
olives or
originally
something?
it was beans, then it was apples.
Yeah.
Later they decided, and then later in the 19th century, oranges came to represent the stones thrown at the king's castle. But for some reason, it's not even a natural thing there. So
Doesn't even make sense.
that's all men to have a food fight.
Throw pasta at each other or something.
Yeah. It's a pasta.
It's a pasta. Watch out.
Oh man.
How about the Naki Sumo?
This one,
This is awesome. The Naki Sumo Crying Baby Festival is an annual Japanese festival in which babies are held in the arms of sumo wrestlers in an open-air sumo ring. Okay? Put this in your brain box. Listen to it.
I'm listening.
2 babies compete in a short match in which the first child to cry is proclaimed the winner.
That's it?
Oh, yeah. According to the Japanese folklore, the crying baby has the power to ward off evil spirits, while a strong, loud cry indicates the child will grow up strong and healthy. A Shinto priest opens each festival with rituals to pray for the healthy growth of each baby. The staff at the shrine hand make 4-pronged kabuto helmets for each participant to wear during the crying competition. That's kind of nice. And they commemorate and they create commemorative gifts and souvenirs for the parents. Sumo wrestlers employ a variety of techniques to encourage crying, including bouncing the baby in their arms and making loud noises and funny or scary facial expressions and chanting "naki naki naki," which means cry. Oh, naki naki naki!
Oh, not prepared for crying baby. Naki naki naki.
My baby cry better than yours. Naki naki naki.
Oh, naki naki naki. That's crazy.
Anyways, pretty stupid.
That is pretty stupid.
But you know what isn't stupid? The mission of Off the Grid Surplus.
No.
Their mission is to inspire greater connection through adventure. They do that by creating extremely functional and everyday wearable products at a great price to take you off the grid. Cam and I actually just sat down with the owner of Off the Grid Surplus. This podcast will come out real soon. We just had a conversation with him about how he started doing the things he did and all the things he's doing and what's coming up. And these dudes are just, they do it right.
He knows how to build some clothes.
He knows how to build some clothes. Like his history in the clothing industry is pretty freaking cool. So you got to check that out. It's going to come soon. But before that, go to offthegridsurplus.com and use our code CASUALPREPPERS15 and you're going to get an extra 15% off anything you order from the website. So go do it. They've got the best clothing out there for preppers.
Yeah, they do.
No
They
doubt.
really do.
How about a baby jumping competition?
Okay. I saw that. I didn't look into this one at all, so I'm super curious of what's going on here.
Baby jumping.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
El Colocho.
If I landed on the baby. Knocky, knocky, knocky.
Knocky, knocky, knocky. Oh, crying baby. El Calocho. It's a traditional Spanish festival dating back to 1620. It takes place.
Calocho.
El Calocho.
Disney's coming out with that movie next year.
It takes place annually to celebrate the Catholic feast of Corpus Christi.
Oh, okay.
During the act, known as El Salto del Calocho, the devil jump, or simply El Calocho, men dressed as the devil in red and yellow jumpsuits jump over the babies, babies born during the previous 12 months who lie on a mattress in the street. Okay? So the devils hold whips and oversized castanets as they jump over the infant children. Before the jump begins, the devils taunt onlookers until the arrival of the Atabalero drummers. They taunt the onlookers. These pious men signal the beginning of the jump, which represents the devils being driven out and on their way. They jump over the babies, absorbing their sins.
Okay. Got it.
Take the baby sins with them.
Makes sense.
It's a good
Those
jump.
sinful babies.
Those sinful little babies. It's like the whole thing with original sin, right? Anyways, weird stuff going on.
That is weird. I didn't know it was anything to do with that.
Yeah, now you know.
Thought it was just a competition. Jump over a baby.
Nope.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I do that.
My
once
kids
in a
on
while.
line up.
Line up. We're going to jump.
This one is called the Bubble Bubble Challenge.
Bubble Baba. Okay.
Bubble Baba Challenge is an event held in the rapids of Vukosia River in Russia, whereby contestants race in the water using sex dolls as flotation devices.
What?
Yeah. It began in 2003 and is staged every year. In 2011, around 800 people participated in the race.
Wow.
But in 2012, it was banned by the authorities because of dangerously high water levels,
Okay.
which was being done to repair the roads. because of work that was being done to repair roads. Organizers disputed the ban, claiming that it was only affected as part of a countrywide clampdown on mass gatherings.
Oh, okay, of course, yeah.
Participants of either gender are allowed to compete, but are required to be aged 16 or over and must pass a compulsory
Alcohol test.
Alcohol test.
Yeah, that's great.
Can't be drunk.
You 16? Well, you can race with
Oh,
the
you
sex
are drunk?
dolls.
You're fine.
Go ahead.
So
That's interesting.
that sounds like Russia.
Yeah. Bee wearing competitions.
Okay.
In 2011, there were only 2 people who registered for the event that took place in Shenyang City, China.
Oh, it's okay.
Wearing nothing but shorts, goggles, and nose plugs, 42-year-old Wang Dallin and 20-year-old LC Konjang each stood on a scale and used a queen bee to attract as many regular bees on their bodies as possible in 1 hour. Within minutes, swarming bees pick up the scent of the queen.
That's crazy.
And form a living full-body suit.
I've seen them like covered.
Yeah.
Like there's no
it's
human
crazy.
seen underneath.
In the end, it was Dallin who managed to beat out Kyonjang.
Bee.
Yeah. By attracting 26 kilograms of bees on his body.
Holy crap.
Which is approximately 350,000 bees.
That's
Pretty
insane.
crazy.
He's allergic and he died.
Yeah, and he's dead now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
World Championship death diving.
Oh,
so
boy.
this is just an extreme freestyle diving form where they can do whatever they want, basically.
Oh, sounds
The
great.
roots of death diving are in Norway, where Dodd's events still dominate. The World Championship has taken place in Oslo, Norway, every August since the event debuted in 2008. Jumps are performed from the platform 10 to 15 meters high. Basically, there's 2 classes, classic and freestyle. Classic competitors fly horizontally with their arms and legs extended until they hit the water, and they can't rotate or anything.
So is that like a belly flop?
Belly flop, and then they pull in at the last second.
Okay.
Competitors curl into the fetal position just before they hit the water.
Oh, that sounds
And
better.
then the other freestyle, they can just do all kinds of weird, goofy tricks and rotations and flips.
Cool.
And that's it.
That sounds
the current
fun.
world record in height is 34.25 meters and is held by Frenchman Comme Gerardo. In the women's class, the record is 24.8 meters and is held by Norwegian Asbjørg Nesji.
That's exactly how that's said, I'm
Yep.
sure. Asbjørg. That's awesome.
dang,
This one
Asbjørg.
I actually think is kind of funny. The Clow Wow.
What is that?
It's known colloquially as the World Santa Championships.
Oh, nice.
It's a festival
I'd go to that.
of Santa-themed activities and contests that in the past have included opera skiing, APRES skiing, climbing various structures. So, like, Santa would have to get up on the thing. Sled racing, obviously, Santa.
So they're all dressed in Santa?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's all, and then a bunch of other stuff that Santa Clauses just don't do, but they just do it for fun.
This is where?
This is, I don't know. In Swiss.
Swiss winter resort.
Samnawan.
Samnawan.
Uh-huh. Anyways, it's pretty cool.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Santas doing Santa-themed things.
So this one...
Oh my gosh. This one is the weirdest thing.
Super weird.
It's morbid, man.
Yeah, it is. It's messed up. I can't believe they still do it. Buzkashi.
Buzkashi.
In other words, it's called goat polling.
Oh my gosh.
It's the national sport in Afghanistan. It is a traditional sport in which horse-mounted players attempt to place a goat or calf carcass in a goal.
This is so disgusting.
Similar games are known as Kokpar, Kupkari, and Ulak Tarshin or something like that.
Yeah.
So different countries actually do the same thing, just a little different amount of players and rules. So before the game, the carcass is decapitated, gutted, and soaked in water for 24 hours, ensuring it stays in one piece because they're grabbing at it, trying to pull it out of each other's hands. They're whipping each other, and they're trying to throw it in the goal.
It's a dead goat.
It's a dead yeah, it's
That
not
they've,
like
cut
it's-
up.
And so it's that so they soak it. Sometimes they fill it full of sand for some weight. And to kick things off, it's then placed in the centerpiece, and on the signal, horsemen race to grab the carcass and maintain their possession, fighting off each other with, like, they're kicking, they're whipping, and everything to try and get it into the goal. In Persian, Bukashi translates to goat grabbing. In actuality, the simple name is introduced in. This is why it kind of where it started. Introduced by nomadic Turkic populations between the 10th and 15th centuries during westward migrations from China to Mongolia. The game's foundations lie in goat and cattle theft between nomadic tribes. It's like when they're trying to steal animals from each other. But yeah, the fierce game sees horseback players fight for the possession of a goat or calf carcass and is played across much of Central Asia by numerous ethnic groups. It's not just like a simple one game. Like it's played all over.
Yeah.
And they use a dead goat almost all the time, and they just try to like some of the attire. For example, riders in former Soviet Union often wear salvaged Soviet tank helmets for protection.
Yep.
The boots usually have high heels that lock into the saddles to help them lean and grab and pull and stuff like that. Games can last for several days,
Oh my
and the
gosh.
winning team receives a prize, not necessarily money, as a reward for their win. Top players such as Aziz Ahmad are often sponsored by wealthy Afghans.
Oh my
So it's like a
gosh.
big sport. But yeah, the rules, the ground has a square layout with each side long. Each team consists of 10 riders. Only 5 riders from each team can play in a half. The total duration of each half is 45 minutes. There's only 15-minute break between the two halves. The game is supervised by a ref.
That is so weird.
So weird.
Like,
and it's
I
a
had-
big deal.
I had no idea that existed.
I didn't either.
No
and
idea.
it's like legit. Like wealthy
Wow.
people put money behind it,
Yeah.
and it's like attended like soccer.
That is
So
so it's the
crazy.
weirdest thing I've ever heard.
That was called Buzkashi.
Buzkashi. Yeah.
Buzkashi.
That's crazy. One more for you. Competitive sleeping.
This is a real deal.
Yeah, well, sort of.
Sort
In
of.
2010, Spain held its first national siesta championship to find the best napper and revive the tradition of taking a nap after lunch. All you had to do was sleep for a full 20 minutes in the middle of a shopping mall.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't seem like it'd be that
I don't
hard.
know. I can't sleep.
I couldn't do
in
it,
my
but
bed
like a
with
lot
the
of
lights
people,
off in
but
the
a lot
dark.
of people can do
Or
that, right?
in the cold. I'm like, that's perfect. I can't sleep.
Not to be outdone, U.S. sleep tools brand Marpac announced the Competitive Sleeping League Championship in 2018.
CSL.
Yeah. Marpac claimed the CSL started in 1998 after the rapid growth of the California Sleeping Club and partnered with College Humor to live stream the championship. Anyways, that's a thing
It's
that
kind of
actually
a
happened.
funny thing, but it's
Yep. It's
Yeah.
pretty weird.
Yeah.
But guys, today's podcast is brought to you by TechPack, the only monthly tactical subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Use our code CASUALPREPPERS and you're going to get a free $70 machine-made part from Next Level Armament. If you got an AR-15, if you love EDC gear, you've got to get TechPack. Use our code CASUALPREPPERS for that free gear.
tons of free gear.
Yeah. That's it.
That's awesome.
Anything else, Cameron?
No, that's it.
That was crazy.
You can go and invent a game,
Mm-hmm.
move to England. It's going to be picked up and it'll be important.
100%.
You can make up whatever you want there.
Yep. All right, guys. Stay survived.